Hey, everybody. You're listening to Video Game Pharmacy with your host, Killian. Today, we're going to be talking about...
No, I'm digging it. Keep going.
Okay.
Oh, Reggie Fils-Aime. We're going to talk about maybe Game Pass is coming to Switch. We don't know yet. We're going to talk about the new Pokemon Direct. We're going to talk about Anthem's poor review scores. Why did they happen? What can be done to fix this? Maybe we'll tell you.
So who's here with you?
Well, I'm getting to that. Today,
Yeah, calm down, Zach. This is his show. Okay?
Today,
All right,
I'm
my
joined
bad.
by Scott,
Hi.
Zach,
Hey.
and Dan.
I won't be here for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'll come in through the door.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. And Killian,
And me,
our special
your
guest,
host.
who has not only butchered our intro, but has also made me want to start doing something.
I know, me too.
'Cause
I know.
I never thought about actually being like, this is what we're going to talk about to keep you interested.
Well, apparently you don't pay attention because Britton did that before.
He's never done that.
He has.
I've never heard
Absolutely
him
guaranteed.
do
I
that.
can pull up the episode for you.
I
Do it.
have heard him do it.
Well, hey, Killian, that was
That was really good.
that was fantastic. I'm sorry for laughing in the beginning, but
Hey guys, this
I
is
loved
your
it.
this is your weekly dose of video game news,
Knowledge,
banter,
yeah.
I
knowledge
said this is Video Game Pharmacy, right?
and trivia.
Yeah,
You did, yes.
You did say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now here's the real intro. Hang on, we're gonna pause here.
The pharmacy is now open.
Yo, what is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Video Game Pharmacy, your weekly dose of video game news, knowledge, and know-how. And I am here with I'm joking. I never stopped the recording, so
Okay.
yours is still gonna be the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that was just me doing it.
You took
because
like a deep breath.
I just wanted to freak you out.
Nervous.
But yeah, no, that was good. Okay, cool. Hey, Zach, speaking of trivia,
Yes,
we had a question last week.
we did.
And I'm going to tell you what.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was.
All right.
But I know you do because I know you're great at keeping track of those kind of things. Can I also say thank you, Killian, for being here?
Yeah, thank you.
Britton
Hey,
is
it's no
on
problem.
vacation.
He is. He said hi from
Disneyland.
The Tiki Room.
the Tiki Room.
Is that what he specifically
That's
said?
what he specifically said.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it absolutely
I was gonna say Tiki Bar, but I know Britton doesn't really drink that much, so I
Yeah.
you know,
He drinks
kinda paused
a-
there.
Oh, he would go to the Tiki Bar to get a drink.
He
Yeah.
would, yeah.
he would have a
That's
drink.
the sort of experience that he'd be like, yeah, I'd like to go and get a drink, maybe two, but don't
with
push
that-
it.
That's it. Yeah. Britton is definitely a social drinker.
But with his kiddos,
Why are we talking about this
I don't
right
know.
now? I don't know either.
Because we want Britain here.
We
Yeah.
do, we really
All we're
do.
saying is
Not
we don't
me.
really want Killian here.
Yeah.
We want Britton here.
if we had a choice.
Dad's not here.
Yeah, but we had to make do with what we got.
So last week I asked, what was the very first Toys to Life video game? Scott, you were here to answer.
Yeah.
Dan,
Dan was not
I
here.
wasn't here to answer.
I know you. But I'm asking you if you have an answer or
man.
what you think it was.
The very first Toys to Life?
Yeah.
I mean, the obvious answer in my mind is Skylanders, I think.
Okay.
But I that can't be true. So,
I think everybody.
I said Skylanders, yeah.
Britton
I
said
would have
Skylanders.
said Skylanders.
So
Yeah.
the very first Toys to Life video game was UB Funkies from
What?
2007 to 2010.
what
What?
is that?
U.B.
Yeah.
Funkies was the first game of this genre. Is discontinued in 2010 and was worked on by Mattel, Arcadium, and Radica. It had multiple updates before it was discontinued. Almost every update had a portal, blah, blah, blah. So, very first Toys to Life.
Sounds like a great game.
Wait, what about Neopets? Does that count?
That's not Toys to Life. It
No.
was just virtual
Yeah.
toys.
Yeah.
But no, you got plushies of Neo, or not? Not
Yeah,
Neo.
but-
Webkins. Webkins.
Oh, okay.
You remember Webkins?
I don't.
So Webkins, it was like these stuffed animals that you would like get codes from, and you'd be able to. It was essentially like Neopets, where you got these stuffed animals. You would take the code and put them in the game, and then you'd have them virtually as well.
yeah.
So I wonder when did that come out? Are you looking?
I'll look it up. I'll look it
yeah,
up.
I'm actually curious. You're probably still right, but
I mean, we never guarantee that the trivia is right.
Released in
So-
2005.
ooh,
Ooh.
Is it technically a Toys to Life game?
to be.
Because there's like what, two devices. There's a
I don't-
toy and then there's a portable device that
I'm
brings
not
it
a-
into video games.
Oh, okay. So it was a game. Because this was just like a web browser type thing. So this wasn't like a disc or
No,
anything.
it has to be it's like a physical toy you put
Got
on
it.
a platform and then it goes into the game.
Okay. So then this was just something stupid that I did at my church.
Okay, so it's UB Funkies.
Yeah, it's UB Funkies, it sounds like.
Have you guys ever played a Toys to Life game?
I love how you also just admitted you're like, yeah, I don't know if it's actually right half the time.
I've said that before as well. Like, we're not always right. And I think I've said, giving you guys an answer, and you guys like, No, that's not right. I was like, all right, well, I'm not perfect.
Well, hey, we appreciate you,
Hey,
Zach.
thanks, man. I appreciate
And
that.
you know what we also appreciate?
Who?
Reggie Fils-Aime.
Ooh.
Good segue.
Thank you.
Good segue. So yeah,
Now it's not a good segue because you pointed it out.
I know. I'm sorry.
But that's what you have to do when you see a good segue.
Yeah, exactly. You have to let them know that it's a good segue.
We
like giving
we
a
should
dog
talk
a
about
treat.
this later.
Okay, we'll
probably,
talk about it
'cause
later.
I don't know if I agree.
Well, let's talk about Reggie Fils-Aime a little bit. First of all, I mean, he's not dead. He's alive and well.
Might
He
as well
is.
He's
Oh my god.
he's going out on good terms.
is.
For those of you who do not know, Reggie Fils-Aime is the president of Nintendo of America currently still for until
April 15th or 16th.
Yeah, I'm gonna
15, I think.
I believe he has been working with Nintendo for a very long
It's
time.
been since 2003.
Thank you. Since 2003, and then he's been president of Nintendo of America for 13 years. So he has been a part of Nintendo's basically almost legacy, like the building up of Nintendo for a long, long time. But he's not going out because he's in bad health or anything. He's all fine and well. It's just time to retire. And I think it's funny because his predecessor is a gentleman named Doug Bowser,
Which is perfect.
which could not be any better. Doug Bowser is going to be his predecessor, which everyone... When everyone found this out, the memes just started flooding in.
Yeah, I mean, apparently the guy wears Bowser costumes for
Does he?
Halloween. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and I mean, what else is he gonna wear?
He
you
just
know?
I
embraces
remember back when they had a video introducing him. He had stuff on his shelf with Mario and Luigi tied up. in
Yeah.
the
Oh, did
background
he
and,
really?
A bunch of Bowser minions in the background.
That's awesome.
That's
okay.
really cool.
I don't know too much about Doug Bowser. I'm really hoping that he's going to do a good job. I mean, he has a pretty hefty legacy to kind of live up to.
Well,
when it comes to Reggie.
I know the president of Nintendo. I forgot his name, but he definitely welcomed into the spot and says he's looking forward
To working with him?
to working with them, and
Yeah.
him taking over.
I mean, I don't have my doubts at all. He's been with the company for a long time, but Reggie Fils-Aime has not only just been the president of Nintendo, but he's kind of made his way into pop culture
Yeah,
too.
he has.
He's definitely been at the forefront of memes. My body is ready. That's a good one. Another one is he even mentioned it, which was a Super Smash Brothers meme, which was "Don't pull any Johns," which for those of you who don't know, there was a competitive Smash player named John. I don't remember his actual in-game name, but he would always basically give bogus reasons to why he lost games in Smash, and
Usually it was blamed on the controller.
yeah, it would blame it on the controller or lag or something like that. And he would always blame his controller or lag or whatever it was, and everyone just made up the meme, don't pull any Johns. Well, that made its way all the way to Reggie Fils-Aime, and he even used it in a Nintendo Direct for Super Smash Brothers, and it was glorious. It's quite glorious. This man will be much missed. Do you guys have anything to say about Reggie?
No, I mean, I didn't really know of the guy really
Until recently?
Until recently,
Yeah.
not being a big Nintendo fan, but it was kind of sad, I guess, to have a staple go.
Yes.
I guess for me, I have not typically kept until the last year or two. I've not really kept up with specific individuals in the video game industry in terms of like people like Reggie, or Todd Howard as an example, as someone that I know a lot more about now than I did 2 years ago. But Reggie was one of the first that was a figure that I would recognize just immediately. If I saw a picture of Reggie, it was Reggie. That was easy.
He was sort of the face of Nintendo, at least in North America.
Yeah, he absolutely was.
Yeah.
He was he went to a lot of events too. Met a lot of fans.
Dude, he was he was the uncle that everyone had at Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that kind of as a joke, but he had that kind of
Personality.
That personality.
Yeah.
If I feel if I would have met Reggie somewhere, I could have interacted with him like he were an uncle or something, which is super cool that he can give off that kind of vibe, even when he's I've primarily seen what he's done in things like Nintendo Directs, where it's a very, very manicured environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's really cool.
I think Reggie Fils-Aime, this will not be the last that we hear of him. I'm sure his memes will continue on, as well as his legacy in Doug Bowser.
I mean, dude, I don't think. Yeah, he's not going to be completely disconnected
No.
from the gaming industry.
No,
We'll still
absolutely
hear things pop up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nintendo, if they have like funny direct moments, I'm sure they'll have him on there.
Yeah.
Just to give a little chuckle.
A little taste.
Yes.
So-
But anyway, Reggie, we appreciate everything you have done for Nintendo. We salute you, good sir. Have fun hanging out with your family and being retired from all of this nonsense that we call video games.
Right. So speaking of the Switch,
Yes.
we got a big announcement.
What was this announcement that we got?
It was now announcement of Pokemon Sword
man.
and Pokemon
Shield.
Shield.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the
I
leaks
that.
weren't true. So if you guys didn't know, there was a leaked screenshot for Pokemon King and Queen, which we kind of thought that was going to be the name of the next game, but no, it's called Pokemon Sword and Shield, which
I think is a great name.
I think is a pretty good name. I personally, it's just whatever. It's not that they've run out of diamonds and run out of gems to name Pokemon games after, so they're finally just moving on to actual items, which I guess they kind of did with Sun and Moon. To be fair. But yes, so today on February 27th was a Pokemon Direct. And it was 7 minutes long, and they didn't give us a ton of information besides a little gameplay and different spectacles that you could see, bless you, that they showed us, and they showed us the 3 starting Pokemon.
Yep.
And I know for me, I love the 3 starter Pokemon.
Same.
I liked them a lot.
I do too.
I really like their designs. I think they're. When I saw these 3, I immediately thought of old like art that just artists on like DeviantArt or something would like draw up
Yeah.
as like a mock-up Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just the big round heads. So I think they're really funny. I know me and Brooksy were kind of debating back and forth about the typings of these 3. We're already looking way too deep into this.
I mean,
Alright.
there's a lot of different things that they could do with the typings.
Yeah.
I know when the little water dude
Yes.
showed up out of the water.
What is it?
My first thought was,
his
oh
name
my
is
gosh,
Sobble.
that'd be
Sobble?
so cool if it was ghost type. And
Yeah.
I realize now, like, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
will
could
be.
be.
It could be, but I don't know.
We were thinking maybe like water dark or water psychic.
So
That could be one.
Did you see the potential final evolution of Score Bunny?
No, dude, it's been out for less than a day.
Yeah, I know.
And so people are already making concept
Killian's diving into it.
art. What are the name of these 3 real fast?
So they named them the monkey grass type. It is named Grookey.
Okay.
The fire bunny is called Score Bunny.
Uh-huh.
It's
And
kind
then-
of lazy.
And then the water
be
type.
honest.
The water type is Sobble.
Sobble. Okay, cool.
Sobble.
I honestly like all 3 of them, which is a rare occasion for me to like
I
all
remember.
3 starters.
I remember with Gen 6. I don't know what it was. Like, I couldn't tell you why, but I just wasn't excited about those 3 starters.
Nope.
And like Rowlet was my favorite, but not because Rowlet was amazing for me or anything. Just because like Litten felt underwhelming and Popplio looked so goofy.
I love
And like,
Popplio.
now that I've had time to sit with it, like
Yeah.
I'm better with them. And also Pre-Marina ended up being super cool. So, it came out all right in the end. But
I understand what you're saying
yeah.
though about the starters in that game being underwhelming. Honestly, in my opinion, a lot of the Pokemon in Sun and Moon were a little underwhelming. The whole game was.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
straight honest.
Yeah.
I wasn't really happy with how Sun and Moon turned out.
I wanted to like it a lot, and there were not very many attributes that in the end I felt like measured up, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I liked the story.
It was okay.
And
I
then
was-
in retrospect the story was all right.
Yeah.
It was made worse by the way they did cutscenes. Like, I really hope that they get away from the like take 10 steps and then cutscene and then 6 more steps and then another cutscene.
That was
Yeah.
my problem.
Like just
with
give me those
just
4
couldn't do it.
cutscenes you're gonna stack like that.
Yeah.
Just put them all in one place.
Yeah.
Walk my person to the next area. Like that's fine.
Look,
I'm okay with that.
I'm here to catch Pokemon, not play a Final Fantasy game. Okay.
I would be okay with it if they cleaned up some of the messiness around stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They're games targeted for kids in terms of their difficulty and the way that they're marketed, and that's fine. Like, I get that.
But they shouldn't have a complicated story that gives you a million cutscenes like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
That's not where you're going with Pokemon.
I think they could have managed the story with less cutscenes. I think that they could have put a lot of the stuff together into one go. But
Just give me gyms back. That's all I want.
we got Jim's back.
We got gyms back.
Yeah,
Yes.
they talked about it in the trailer.
Yep.
Also, the region being based on the UK, I'm excited about that.
Yes.
So-
the Sword and Shield, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like the whole like the War of the Roses thing. Like I don't know if that's what they're going for, but that like I got a little bit of that.
It works.
I think that's cool.
It works.
So they have a new region
Uh-huh.
called the Gala region.
Yes.
Yep. It's being developed by Game Freak, which I
Again.
guess has made
As always.
Yeah,
all the Pokemon
Since,
games.
since the beginning, I
Yep.
believe. Since
Yeah.
Yellow.
it's always been
Yep.
it's always been Game Freak. Creatures Inc. I think is what it was. Nintendo and Game Freak and Creatures Inc. in the very first games, and then I don't know if Creatures Inc. got like worked into Game Freak or what exactly went on with that. But I know now there's the Pokemon Company, which is just a formalized union of those companies, of those studios working on Pokemon.
Yeah. What were some other stuff, noticeable stuff that we got from the trailer? We got gyms back. It looked like they're kind of doing it almost like a Coliseum setting when you go into a gym.
Yeah, that the graphics looked really good.
Yeah.
Like, so let's go Pikachu and let's go Eevee were
They
what
looked like,
they were like Pokemon Go tier graphics. That was what they were aiming for.
Yeah.
And so you could see that like, okay, these games will look good. That's cool. But they were, they weren't anything special beyond that. But these ones, like you got to see some battle animations of Pokemon doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Easily the best animations that we've had since like a console game like Coliseum, which, that I think that's a great step up. I'm really excited to see that happen.
I'm really excited.
I think the only other mechanic that was super clear through the video is that we do still have wild Pokemon battles the way they've traditionally been done.
Good.
So I had a hope, right, that the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee model, where the Pokemon were actual like physical sprites on the
and you
map
can see what ones
that
you're
you can
catching.
like
Yeah.
run into them deliberately. I was hoping that we might see that.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
was
a
too.
little sad that we don't have that because just random encounters are a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not as big a fan of that.
they can be frustrating when
But-
you're trying to catch a specific Pokemon.
right.
Yeah.
But that's a minor thing.
I agree
It
with
was,
you.
That was a hope, not something I expected.
I agree with you, but God, I'm glad they went away from the whole
They
just catching Pokemon
they
thing.
were never going to go just to that.
I-
The wild battle format,
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
It was mostly the method of encounter that I was hoping for the improvement. But
Oh, yeah.
that's a little thing.
So,
there's a
I'm-
lot of different environments, which I think is
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
They looked really good.
The region is
Forest,
huge.
Yeah. Forest, desert, what else? Tundras. Super.
Yeah.
It looks super clean.
And then the other thing that stuck out to me, it looks like Zach has something to say, so I'll let you get to that in a second.
Okay.
The other thing that stuck out to me is that the design of the different trainers, like the people in the world, looked a lot more detailed than it has in the last couple of games on the 3DS, which I'm excited
Yeah,
it
about.
looks like they're actual like
Yeah,
people.
it's not just this
Copy
is
and pasted.
This is Ace Trainer 35 that you run into this game.
Exactly.
So,
What about you, Zach? What did you like about the trailer?
What
What you have to say?
I was going to ask you guys.
Yes.
Because up until this point, I played Pokemon games here and there, but they never got me.
Yeah.
Were you ever able to like choose who or how you want to play your character, customize them, or design them the way you
So-
want?
Not before.
Or you guys
In-
have a person and you play as them?
in Gen 6 and Gen 7, they had some character customization options that mostly boiled down to what clothes
Yeah.
are you wearing and what is your hairstyle. I think in Gen 7 they had like hairstyle, hair color. You could change your eye color throughout the game, and there were a couple other things. But,
Your eyes just molded throughout
Well,
the
no,
game.
like
to
color
different- no, I know.
contacts,
I
but
know.
yeah. So in that sense, that's a relatively new addition to the series, but
Yeah.
it's one that stuck around between generations, which is not common for things that they add.
Yeah.
So I would expect to see some level of character customization that way, even if it's just clothing. But
Yeah,
it would,
I mean,
it
I'd
would
be fine
surprise
with
me if
that.
there weren't. In terms of like how you play the character, though, you don't have a whole lot of like. There aren't like big choices to make plot wise.
Yeah.
You go from one thing to the next.
Yeah,
Really
plot
just-
wise,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting a lot, but I think it's kind of like this is the first Pokemon game besides like Pokemon Go, which I mean you can't really.
It's just
consider
different. Yeah.
different. That I actually really, really want to play. Like
Yeah.
I kind of want to play Let's Go because of the aesthetics and like the art style of the game.
I'll let you borrow it.
Yeah.
But
not
because
playing it.
because of the simplicity and like the things I've heard, never really like pulled the trigger on it. But,
Yeah.
But this I really want to play.
Yeah. I mean, it might be worth it for you to give Pokemon Let's Go a try.
Just to get into it.
Just because, the
is a good
difference
introductory
between
game.
Pokemon Go and like a regular franchise game, there's a lot, right? And it's not that you couldn't make the jump, but Let's Go is a kind of a middle point. And that's part of what they released it to do, I think, is to pull the Let's Go crowd onto the console and say, hey, come check this out. Was this fun? Did you enjoy this? Well, we have this other game here now, a year from now, that maybe you'll enjoy more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I mean this isn't being like conflict or anything, but I jumped into Monster Hunter and that game was pretty deep and pretty intense. So I'm
Yeah.
probably not gonna get Let's Go. And I'll probably just hop into
I'll
yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
let you, like I said, I'll let you borrow Let's Go. You can play it all you want.
Yeah.
I'm not playing it. But what about you, Killian? What did you like about the trailer? I want to hear what you got to, what you kind of soaked in from it, and what were your favorite aspects or things you didn't like.
Well, I mean, there's really just one thing that I'm hoping for in the
Yeah.
new game, which is I hope the world is more lively.
Okay.
Like, there's more. I feel like in other Pokemon games, like the people and the Pokemon are just kind of static that you run into in
Yeah.
the towns. I'm hoping
Yes.
that there's more interaction between them.
I'm kind of scared though because in the trailer you didn't really see anybody else.
Yeah. Well, I
there were
mean,
You just see the character, right?
there's a couple,
There,
but
you saw a
there's a
few
couple
other,
shots.
Okay.
yeah, and that's why I am at least hoping that from the looks of the trailer that most NPCs in the world that aren't significant characters, but just like the regular people in the world, I'm hoping that they do have the greater detail of individual design.
yeah.
Because that's a little immersion breaking in Pokemon when you run into the same exact trainer sprite for like 10 or 15 different trainers throughout the game.
Yeah, like Bug Catcher Joey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is Bug Catcher Tommy, Bug Catcher Frankie. Yeah, no, I completely understand. What else? Hit me with your thoughts, Killian. I want to hear your voice.
I really liked the water type. I thought he was really cute.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's
Sol-
okay.
Yeah, it
Sobel's pretty
fits you.
cute.
Yeah, it fits
Sobel's
you.
pretty cute.
Thanks.
I am really excited to see this bunny
Yeah.
because I don't know, the last fire starter just didn't do it for me, and I like the fire starters a lot.
Which is ironic because it made it into Smash over like a billion other better
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
IMO.
Yeah, although I mean, I may not like Incineroar that much myself. He makes sense in a fighting game, though. He's literally a luchador. Like, I don't know.
You
I
wanna
thought
know-
I thought that was a reasonable.
You want to know what
addition.
people don't want to see? Another firefighting type.
Yeah, I'm with
No one.
I'm with people on that. We've had a lot of firefighting starters. I'm crossing my fingers.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna like hold my breath for it, but a fire electric type would be super cool.
That would be
You
cool.
want to
We
hear?
haven't had that yet, and like the whole like energetic bunny thing, it leaves me hopeful.
Yeah,
You want to hear a rumor?
sure.
Yeah,
It
for
might
sure.
be fire flying,
Huh. I guess
which
with
seems
his ears.
really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I kind of speculated is I feel like it could be a fire ground because
And-
the whole like giant feet thing could like make earthquakes and stuff like that happen. So
although we've already had a ground themed bunny.
I know, but I'm just kind of thinking outside the box.
We've also had a lot of monkeys.
It
Yeah.
could also be a pure fire. Even like
Yeah,
we
it's
haven't.
possible.
I don't think we've had a final evolution be a single type for a few generations now.
Oh, it's been a hot
But-
second for sure.
They could do that. I mean, none of these starters immediately seem to need a second typing, right?
The-
Like when you have Charmander didn't need a second typing, but then when it became Charizard, like, yeah, of course it had flying.
Yeah, because it had wings.
and then you
Tepig
have-
was the last one, the last fire that was just all fire, which was, Gen 4, I believe?
Was it?
Yeah, I believe because it was Tepig. I want to say Tepig.
That was
Oshawott,
that was
and
Gen
Chespin.
5.
Okay, there.
And I thought that Embor was one of the several firefighting. Yeah, Embor's firefighting.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep. Just looked it up to be sure.
What did I see? Because I was just looking at all the starters and what their typings were, and I remember seeing one that was just fire, and I know it was past Cyndaquil because I know Cyndaquil is just all fire, but that was Gen 2.
Sceptile was pure grass in Gen 3.
What was pure fire though?
Pure fire?
Yeah. I feel like we're
I think it was
Cyndaquil?
I think it was Typhlosion, yeah. Cyndaquil.
wow, really?
Typhlosion.
Dang, that was
Yeah.
forever ago then. Okay, well, maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. I'm excited to see what they come up with. Everything I saw from the trailer, even though it wasn't too much information, it gave me enough to kind of really dig in deep and be okay with this game. And
Speculate.
yeah, I'm hoping it's the game that Sun and Moon could have been, and I'm hoping it's the game that Let's Go isn't.
Yeah.
And
So the
that's what I
release
need.
date, we didn't get an official release
Nope,
date,
late
but
2019.
late 2019. Pokemon games for a few generations now have always released in like the third week of November.
Yes.
So I would expect to see a release date between, let me go to November on my calendar real quick. I would expect to see a release date between Sunday, November 17 and Saturday, November 23.
Okay.
I believe Tuesday has frequently been a release day, so that'd be November 19, but it could be a Thursday or a Friday as
I
well.
wonder if they do
Those
that on
happen.
purpose or if it's just
Well,
happens to
it's
be
time
that.
for holiday sales.
Fair enough.
And that's
Okay.
something that I think it's from a marketing angle. Pokemon is one of the most profitable games to release in gaming. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
every single year that they release a Pokemon game, it just prints money.
That's true.
And you want to do that at the holidays. It's a
Yeah.
perfect holiday gift. You
I
know?
mean, even Let's Go sold really well,
Yep.
all things considered.
Yep.
Okay, well, moving on from that, but before we move on from that, today is also a very special day as well, because it is Pokemon Day.
Yeah.
So that kind of correlates with this whole Nintendo Direct. In 1996, Pokemon Red and Blue came out in the U.S., which was our first Pokemon game of all time. So that was very exciting. So hey, happy Pokemon
Takes
Day,
me
guys!
back.
It does, honestly. I remember playing it with my my sister back in the day.
I remember playing Pokemon Red. It was the first thing that I can remember where I had my Game Boy and I
Yeah.
had that and I had a flashlight and I would play
Yes.
under the covers in my
Yep.
room. And I had the room that was under the stairs and my parents' room was upstairs. So
You
if
had a Harry Potter room.
Yeah, well, it was technically just next to the stairs, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
whatever. So I could hear all the creaks in the house and I
Yeah.
knew where people were
Yeah.
at all times essentially.
So when someone would, come
if they were going to
downstairs,
come down the stairs,
hide it.
I had plenty of time.
Yeah.
to
Did
hide
you guys
that.
have that attachable
The flashlight? I did.
Yep.
I absolutely
I
did.
had two versions of that because there was the attachable one
Yeah.
that was just the little wire thing, and I
Yeah.
had one that went over the top and clipped on, and it had a magnifying screen too.
Oh, okay.
So you could see it better.
Yeah, I didn't have that one. I had the little light that would plug into the side port, and I would play Blue on my Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Color at the time, and
Yep, I had the transparent purple one.
I had the Pokemon one.
did you?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, if only you still had it.
I think I do.
Well, if it's in good condition, you might be able to actually get money for it.
Did
But
you-
yeah, everyone, happy Pokemon Day.
Yeah.
What's up, Zach?
Did you guys ever own a Pokédex?
No.
Yes.
You did.
I
did,
still have
but-
one.
Do you really?
I have no idea what happened to mine.
You should
Yep.
pull it out sometime.
Okay.
I think I like
it still works.
The works.
The Pokedex, it works.
It works?
Yeah, it works.
Hey.
Yeah,
all right.
so
Yeah, you should bring it out. We'll have
Okay.
flashbacks.
you'll have flashbacks from playing Pokemon when you didn't play Pokemon.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised I had one.
Cool. You never played Pokemon.
Not
when you were a
hardcore.
kid.
Like I picked it up, but I never played it. Was never into
No
handhelds.
one ever played it hardcore until they become an adult.
True.
I played Pokemon because I love Pokemon, period. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I think we have a lot to look forward to. Hopefully we'll be getting more information here soon. Kind of trying to stay away from all the news in this game, I kind of want to go in with fresh eyes for it. But
I
feel like my
I'm
curiosity
telling myself that.
Yeah.
And I can maintain that for a lot of things.
My curiosity will kill me.
For Pokemon. I'm just going to accept that I'm going to know more about this game than I would like to going in, and that's okay by me.
I'm going to do my best to avoid everything that I can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you?
The only game that I've ever that I can't control myself with is Smash.
Fair enough.
I mean,
which they kind of announced literally everything all at once, so they didn't really give you a choice there.
Yeah. I will say, we got more out of this Pokemon Direct than I thought we would.
Yeah.
I was expecting, because it was a 7-minute Direct, right? So
Yeah.
I was expecting probably 4 or 5 minutes of just kind of a state of the Pokemon world.
But they gave us
about
like
their
everything
games,
about this.
and then like maybe a 1-minute quick thing on, hey, we have games coming up in the Galar region, logos, and
Yeah.
then boom. You know, that's what I was expecting.
But
so
they give us a full-on
I
trailer.
am happy to get quite a bit more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see why people were disappointed, but at the same time, I feel like you're exactly right.
Yeah.
They could have announced maybe a mystery dungeon, some re-releases of Gen.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see Gen 3 hitting something at some point. I'm
Exactly.
sure.
And then, of course, a couple logos at the end. But no, they gave us a new region, new starters, actual gameplay footage.
Yeah.
And the names.
Yeah, gameplay footage was really surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that actually surprised me too. I thought
Yeah.
maybe we would just get the 3
Although
starters.
it makes sense, though. They were potentially working on it for a release last year at one point in the development cycle. And then I think that they just decided they wanted that extra year to polish it for a full release on the Switch later.
I'm pretty sure they're
Which-
using the same engine that they used for Let's Go. So they already had the
Yeah.
groundwork laid out for them.
I mean, it still looks great though.
I'll
absolutely.
have to look into that because I think you're right, but I think I've seen in other interviews they've talked a little bit about stuff like that, like the engine that they were working with. So,
Okay. Well,
but we can talk about that another time.
exactly. We'll definitely be getting more Pokemon news, and we will definitely be bringing it to you guys when
Is
it comes
the
out.
Pokemon company like? Are they ones to basically like release like new game trailers and footage and stuff as
No.
the time goes on, or just all of a sudden it'll be here?
I don't want to say no. It's kind of a hit or miss for them because they'll normally release like articles more than anything, more than videos.
No, they do videos.
I'm not saying they don't,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is that like the next Nintendo Direct we have,
Yeah.
we might have like a small little blip of something. But it'll be stuff that we either all have already seen before, and like maybe the next evolution of the starters, or here's 5 new Pokemon from the new generation, or something like that.
Because like for example, with like EA and Anthem, like we've seen gameplay footage, demos,
yeah,
all
There'll
these
be
all these
another-
trailers and stuff.
There'll be another few trailers along the way. I feel like they usually do 4 or 5.
it'll just be
at
little
least.
things. Yeah,
Um,
it'll be like stuff we've already seen, and then one really big thing.
Yeah.
So like the legendary, or here's a bit of the story, or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how they keep you hyped
It's
up.
really interesting. The art that we have for the logos,
Yeah.
there's no indication of anything about
Legendaries.
legendary except
Yep.
that little wolf thing.
Yeah, but it's for both
which
of
is
them.
really interesting to me, and I'm excited to see what that means.
Someone said the legendary is going to be a Age of Slash or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't Brooks say that?
Yeah, that's what Brooks said. He said it's going to be Age of Slash.
Yeah.
So, but hey, like I said, we're segueing out of Pokemon now, Zach.
I'm really excited. I think this is a game that we all can play,
It is.
Yeah.
It's going to
And
Game
we'll
of the
have a
Year
little-
material.
and we'll have a little spoiler cast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when it comes out.
Yeah.
So which one of you guys has played Anthem or seen it or done? I have not literally looked at anything besides the first E3 trailer that they dropped for it. Haven't watched any gameplay of it. Haven't seen any
Killian, you want
reviews
to take
for
the
it.
story since
Yeah.
you added it?
I mean, I've seen some gameplay of it.
Okay.
I was mainly just putting it out there just to talk about EA and their sort of
Let's not-
their strategy.
No, don't say the word EA. Don't say the word EA.
I promise I won't go off on.
Okay.
on
I
a
think
tangent about
there's
EA.
it's like it just goes to show that their strategy might need some work because it seems like they were trying to put out a loot shooter to compete with Destiny, but they took so long to put it out that nobody's interested in it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think I read something about this, and I wish I had the article up because I would want to give credit for this. But essentially, the argument was that with the surprise out of nowhere success of Apex Legends, that has hobbled Anthem to a reasonable extent. That it's unfortunate that they didn't anticipate it for them. Because they have Apex Legends and they have Anthem, and then I believe it's Battlefield has an entry.
Battlefield is going to have a battle
right,
royale
and
mode.
so the three games have some overlap in their fan base. So it looks like EA put a lot of their weight and their marketing behind Anthem and Battlefield, like they often do. And then Apex Legends comes out and it's free to play. And it's immensely popular, like so incredibly popular. Fortnite tier, Splash, and boom, more popular than anything else out there, at least for some time. And that's shooting themselves in the foot because they didn't put anything behind this game. They backed the wrong horse in this one, which that sucks for them. And I think that there's not a lot you can do when you're a company as big as EA that has so many different things that you're publishing. Sometimes you're just going to not make the right call. And so in that respect, I think Apex Legends has made Anthem's entrance into the gaming world harder than it needed to be.
I mean, on the contrary, though, I think they're two different games. So I feel like Apex didn't have like a giant impact on it. But I feel like everything else that they did to try and promote this game kind of threw it off its course. So they had kind of like a really bad like promotional streams that were really buggy. The demo was really bad. The release dates were really wonky. So if you bought it early, get early access, but then it releases like a few days later and so on and so forth. And then when the game originally launches
it's not even in great shape. Like there's still
ready.
bugs.
Has a ton of bugs and a ton of issues, and I heard this is filled with microtransactions.
It sounds like Fallout 76 all over again, minus some microtransactions.
And you would think by this point we have so many failed games or big AAA games that just tanked that you think they would learn their lesson, know not to put it out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this game even had a beta, so it did the same thing that 76 did, where it had a beta. They knew that they had problems with the game, but instead of just being like, okay, guys, we hear what you're saying, we're going to have to push the game back a couple months, they didn't. They're like, okay, we heard all these bugs, we'll fix it, but we're still going to release it.
I think a lot of betas tend to just be marketing, basically.
It is,
they aren't there to actually fix the game. They're just there to give you a taste and then put it out no matter what.
Exactly. So it's like instead of putting out a demo and getting people hyped for it, they put out a beta and then you feel special because you're like, oh, well, I can help make this game good. But then the developers don't do anything with the information they're given and it just blows them in the face. And you're right. I think having a game come out like Apex Legends,
it took the problems that this presents for it and makes them even worse. Because why would you bother playing Anthem
and you have to pay for a $60 game
of garbage that you have to pay for when you can just jump over to Apex Legends for free,
which is only slightly buggy.
But like it's a free game.
Yeah.
I play games that are free that are incredibly buggy and they're so much fun. I can forgive bugs if my entire
if you didn't pay
process
for it.
was going to their website and hitting download.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
To be fair, on their part though, no one knew that another battle royale would blow up.
And that's why I want to I'm not faulting EA for not anticipating Apex Legends. Apex Legends, if I'm not mistaken, they announced they were releasing Apex Legends
a couple weeks before.
A couple days before.
Yeah, a couple days before the game actually released.
How are they going to predict that?
Yeah, exactly. And it just happened to be really
good.
And
I heard that it was mainly like a side project in Respawn.
It was, because they canceled Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
So this
we talked about that before, I think, where essentially the resources they were using to make Titanfall 3, they realized that Titanfall 3, if they tried to make it now, wasn't going to be as good as they wanted it to be. So they shelved it and they said, we're going to make this later when we have better technology. So all the stuff we've done is now.
Here's a free game.
So
and it worked out.
I have a theoretical for you.
Hit me with it.
Let's replace the release of Anthem with the release of Destiny 1. Do you still have the same outcome?
What do you mean? I guess you have to be more specific.
Instead of like Anthem's timeline of release.
Are you saying would Apex take away from the sales of Destiny?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had a really successful game like Destiny and have Apex come out at the same time.
Same schedule, but instead of Anthem, you have Destiny.
Okay.
Does the same thing still happen?
I think it would impact a little bit.
Yeah.
More in terms of the lasting effects, because Apex Legends is the sort of free to play games you just jump on and play kind of whenever, right? And Destiny and Anthem and all the looter shooter genre as it exists today, they're kind of pushing the games as a service angle that you see in MOBAs and MMOs and whatnot. And so in order for that to succeed, you need people to keep playing it for an extended period of time, right? And that's where Apex Legends is going to make things a little bit harder for something like Destiny if they would have released at the same time, because both are games that you play every day, and those compete for gamers' time. You can really only have one of those as a gamer, maybe two, but as a company that's trying to court those gamers, you want someone to spend all their time and money in your game, not someone else's. But that being said, I think you make a good point that Destiny still probably would have sold about the same amount with a game like Apex Legends competing with it.
I think that has a lot to do with how well received Destiny was compared to Anthem.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I can tell you from playing something like Apex Legends, you can only play so much before you're like, okay, well, it's time to take a step back. And then playing Destiny when it first came out, it was such a revolutionary game.
It was.
And
it was huge.
It had a great story. It had great combat. It had, it was just fun.
It was different.
It was different and it was fun.
Yep.
So
Killian's giving me some weird looks right now.
it was.
I disagree entirely
Well-
about the story.
No.
It changes over the course of the game.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it was a good story.
Yes.
Versus like what I'm hearing with Anthem, the story is very mediocre. So basically what I'm saying is that when it comes to Apex Legends and Destiny coming around the same time, I don't think Destiny would get super hurt by it.
Now, another thing to consider, though, when Destiny launched, there weren't other games much like it.
No. But
So
what he's saying is if it was to come out at the same time.
Right, but there were some flaws with Destiny, I think. As I recall, there were things that weren't great about Destiny.
Absolutely.
But they were a genre. They were a company that was encountering the problems with the genre firsthand. And so by the end of Destiny's life cycle, they'd solved most of that. And that's where I think Anthem has an additional level of disadvantage, is that it's got so many examples now of games that have done what it's trying to do, and where they've gone wrong and what they did to fix that. So you would hope that a game like Anthem would then learn from all of those mistakes. Yeah. And from what I've heard, it hasn't. It's like those games didn't exist or something as far as what it's decided to try and do.
I think a problem with games now, especially AAA games, is that they think they promise these big expectations and they provide them, but it's not anything that's really flying around a huge open world is pretty awesome. But when you have a beta and you don't listen to the people who are reporting problems and you just don't do anything about it, then it's just going to blow up in your face. And unfortunately, too many AAA games are relying on that aspect of having a beta, getting feedback and not acting on it, and then just letting their game blow up in their face.
When you do it wrong and know you're doing it wrong, but yet you still release it, expecting people to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. You're just preying off people to just buy your game because.
Yep.
Because you're EA or because you're Nintendo or because you're Microsoft. Whatever. It doesn't matter, but it's really frustrating to see. I was really excited for Anthem when it came out.
Well, when it was announced, yeah.
Yeah, it looks super cool. It looks super clean. And then the more I didn't hear about it, I started forgetting about it. And then I didn't even realize the game was soon to come out before some people at work said that the beta came out and asked me if I was trying it.
It seemed like EA started to press the brakes on marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Once they realized that it was, that reception of it wasn't going to look good.
Exactly. But then they released it anyway, and they released a buggy mess, which too many game developers are doing nowadays, and something needs to change.
Yeah, I think it's just because the game industry makes enough money now, it's worth it's worth it for someone who wants to make money to look at the game industry and say, how can we maximize profits and minimize costs?
Yep.
And that's what you see happening in AAA game companies. And the problem is that in the past, all of these companies have had gamers in charge, essentially, at most steps along the way. But as time goes by, you get people who are businessmen, right? Or business people in these positions of power. You get marketers who are there to market something to make the maximum profit, not find the people who this game is going to be
Which
a great game
seems
for.
like what EA has become with
Right,
they're
and
releasing
that's what I'm
battle
saying.
royales,
EA
loot
is
shooters.
EA is far from the only company that is guilty of this. I mean, Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
You've got Ubisoft has kind of been like this at times.
Yep. Games as a
Basically,
service.
any AAA company, it's not headed by gamers anymore, right? Or at least not purely. And that's where a lot of this stuff comes to a head. You know, the bottom line is the important thing for certain people at certain places in the company. And so this game, maybe Anthem would have been better if they waited 6 months, worked out all the bugs, worked out this story isn't quite where we want it to be. What if we could fix it? But the bottom line doesn't support that.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait till sometime in the future where there's pushback either from within the industry, if like say there is a union within the gaming industry, or from the consumer base, there's pushback on these games that are being released.
I mean, there started to be, but
it's not stopping them.
We joke about me going on about EA and them being awful and all that, but I don't buy or play EA games at this point. Like I don't want to support the things that they do. Yeah. Apex Legends is free, sure, but it's got the EA tag on it, which means that if I do anything with Apex Legends and they make money from it somehow, like there I am supporting EA again. Yeah. I don't want to do that. And at this point, I'm not the only person that I've talked to that does that now. Like I run into people who do the same thing. They don't consume EA products, Yeah. And that's the beginnings of it, That's kind of what you're talking about. Pushback from the consumers.
So Anthem on Metacritic, its Metascore is 60, and then its user score is 4.5.
You can't really trust user score on Metacritic though.
No,
to be fair,
you can't.
Yeah,
but if a game's good, we'll probably have good ratings.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point where I feel like I can't even buy a brand new game anymore.
Yeah, you gotten burnt a couple times.
Yeah, I've gotten burned a couple times, so I'm done buying games. Yeah. I bought the new Civ expansion, which is great though. I will suggest the Civ expansion.
I know. I've been wanting to download it and get it started so I can start playing.
To be fair though, Civ is definitely a game franchise where you kind of know what you're getting. Yeah. So with something like Anthem.
This is their typical second expansion. This is what they did with Civ 5 and Civ 4. The second expansion they release is the thing that makes it the complete game and like the best version of the current game.
And overhauled it.
In this case, I mean, I guess time will tell. I think Civ 6 is now like officially just better than Civ 5. There were a lot of people who were kind of holding on to Civ 5.
Well, hey, I don't mean to get off topic here, but let's move on here real fast. We could talk about Civ for the rest of the episode.
We could.
But I want to quickly touch on this. It's something that we kind of talked about couple episodes ago about how Xbox Game Pass is coming, or Xbox Live is coming to the Switch.
Yes.
So how basically the title of this article that we linked is how Xbox Game Pass on Switch would benefit Microsoft, Nintendo, and players. Mm-hmm. So have you guys? Like I said, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Yeah. And but this seems like it's not really a rumor anymore. This seems like this is
happening.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, it is. This is something that none of us saw coming. Like, why would you ever see an Xbox and Nintendo together?
Well, and that's the thing, because all in the past, it's all been hardware expansions and then network expansions across PC and Xbox for Microsoft, but now they're going the software route.
They're branching out.
And so along with the Game Pass coming to the Switch, it's rumored Ori and the Blind Forest and Cuphead.
Mm-hmm. Which I think would do, both of those games would do great on the Switch.
Absolutely,
The Switch indie games constantly outsell their Steam counterparts.
I have heard that they might be bringing Halo as well to the Switch.
I don't know about that.
One of the things that I read about, and I don't remember, this may have just been a rumor, but the concept of playing basically any game using the Switch using streaming technology, right? So playing a game using your Switch as a controller, and your Switch is not doing all of the calculations for whatever's going on. It's sending information to another machine that's doing that, and then that's sending information back, right? This is how like Steam big picture works essentially, is you can play on your TV, but it's going back and forth between your Steam box and the computer, whatever. I probably butchered the explanation of how that works. But the basic idea being that then they don't have to release something like Halo on the Switch. You can just play Halo because it's, your Switch's controllers are sending a signal indirectly through to something else that's running Halo, which is cool.
Well, I think that this is definitely a good step because it seems like they're kind of talking about doing like cross-platform stuff, which they already have started with Fortnite. But I'm reading in this article that they're talking about like doing it with Minecraft and stuff like that.
Which I think is a good idea because
Yeah.
Sony has been so reluctant to do anything.
Oh,
with
absolutely,
either of them.
absolutely. They don't want to have any part of that because they don't, in their mind, they don't want to make their competitors money. And the thing is when it comes down to it, both of these companies, they want more money, and Microsoft would be getting it because you're getting more people who don't own Xbox to buy Game Pass for their Switch, and then Nintendo's making money because people who don't want to buy an Xbox will still buy a Switch, and they're like, oh, I can play Xbox games on it.
Yeah.
So either way, both companies are making tons of money, and the people who really win are us.
I'm a little surprised to see Nintendo, I guess, working with this because I have to assume they have to be working with Microsoft.
Oh,
on it.
absolutely.
But not like it's not like a surprise in terms of like is Nintendo open to this sort of thing. It's just Nintendo is typically very Nintendo centric.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
even the past 2
But-
years, we've seen a lot of third parties coming into the picture. You know,
Like
So-
Ubisoft.
Yep.
But Microsoft in this, like Microsoft is really impressing me over the last few years.
Yeah.
That they're reaching out and they're trying to be inclusive in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
As a company, like this is a way that Microsoft says, "Hey, do you want to play games your way?
Yeah.
Cool, we'll help you do that."
Yeah, I've heard little rumors that they might not make consoles anymore, and they might just stick to making games.
I
But
heard that their next console might just be a streaming
Yeah.
box so that you would just
And-
plug
stream.
in and play games. Yep.
And they said that before, but we'll see if that
Yeah.
actually happens.
Yeah,
or
there's
not.
been a lot of rumors coming out of Microsoft as always, but when it comes down to it, this seems like something that is going to be an actual thing. Xbox games on the Switch.
Yeah.
On Nintendo,
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be
Nintendo
really weird.
consoles.
That swing, that logo that pops up when you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember back in the day when the old Xbox, like
The
whenever-
glowing X.
the little glowing X, and then
Oh,
the
man.
little goo that would be like.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yep.
What if you saw that on a Nintendo console?
You would lose it.
I would.
Yeah.
I absolutely would.
You lose it.
But good for Microsoft for reaching out. Good for Nintendo for definitely giving them.
Good for us.
Yeah, and then good for us because we win. And suck it, Sony.
You know what? You know what?
What?
Because I don't own an Xbox and I do own a Switch.
Yeah.
If somehow the Game Pass is tied on or
Yeah.
tied into Nintendo Online,
Yeah.
I'll actually get Nintendo Online.
Will you get?
I
for
don't
the
think
Game
it's,
Pass.
I really doubt it's going to be tied.
Hey.
into
But we don't know
Nintendo
that yet, though.
Online.
We don't.
Tetris 99.
So
Absolutely not.
Tetris 99 is
No,
really just
stop.
an amazing game.
I need you to stop. You
I don't-
already talked
thanks-
to Britton about
thanks,
this.
Britton.
I get it. Yeah, thanks, Britton.
There is so much
We
depth
talked.
and strategy to it.
We talked like 30, 40 minutes about this.
Did you listen to last week's episode?
No.
It was literally a giant fight between us two and Britton about how he was saying how revolutionary it was.
He literally said that it's gonna be in the game of the year.
He's gonna say
talks.
he's gonna say discussion for game of the year for Tetris 99.
It honestly,
No,
like I'm not
no,
saying
no.
it's going to be game of the year.
Moving
I'm not
on.
trying to.
Moving on. I will not talk about more of Tetris 99 without Britton being here.
It's really
What do
good
you have to
should
say?
download it.
Shut up. I'm done with you. Next. What do we have left? We don't have a ton of time left.
to kind of finish it off.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about Overwatch in a
Sprinkle.
long time.
New hero.
It's still going on. Overwatch League started a few
Yes.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we got an announcement.
New support hero.
A new support hero called Baptiste.
Yes.
He's a soldier healer combo with a lot of cool, unique powers.
It looks like he has like a grenade launcher.
He does. He has a healing grenade bio launcher that heals people.
Sick.
He has an immortal immortal teleporter, so it
Okay.
hovers above you.
Okay, cool. And it gives you like invulnerability.
Yep, for
Nice.
like a certain amount of time, and he's already on the PTR. So
Nice.
in a few weeks he'll be out.
I think here's the problem with support is throughout the history of Overwatch from when it released to now, the support that every single game would have was Mercy, because Mercy's mainly a healer
Yeah.
who literally just connects to you, heals you the entire time.
And her revive in the beginning. Was
The double.
it
yeah.
was so
The double
awful.
revive.
Yeah, the revive was crucial. And even to this day, even the single revive with her ult is still really, really good.
Yeah.
But there hasn't really. Ana was okay. She was an okay healer. Lucio's okay, but he doesn't really give you too much. It's more of an AoE thing for everyone than single target.
Brigitte kind of changed the game a little bit, but wasn't too impactful later on.
Yeah, she was kind of more defensive support than anything. Zenyatta, he's okay. He doesn't put out as much
So when
healing, more DPS. So we need someone to compete against Mercy.
and this is it. So when Jeff Kaplan announced that, and he's talking to everybody, he basically said that in their playthroughs, Baptiste ended up being the main healer on the team because of his abilities and what he
We'll
can
see
do.
how that changes over time. Because
Yeah.
players really
There are going to
change
be
the meta.
some adjustments, and
Oh, absolutely.
and he even said himself that it can be the end to like the goat meta.
Okay.
In Overwatch.
Well, we will see. I know even throughout all the changes that Mercy has received from the beginning of the game till now, she's still one of the most played heroes on the entire roster of heroes for Overwatch.
Yeah.
So if anyone's going to dethrone her, this will be the guy. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see. So definitely bring more information.
I will. Yeah.
I know
I'll
you'll be
on
watching
him.
the Overwatch League a lot. So when he goes live, kind of fill us in on what you've noticed. Do you see more Mercy or him?
Of course. Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, we're coming up towards the end of the episode. Got about 5 minutes left.
Of
So
course.
do you want to hit us with a question, Zach?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Killian, so this is the point of the show where we ask a question and then we answer it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. Hit us with it.
Okay. So, what was the very first video game company to commercially sell a video game?
What?
Very first video game company to commercially sell a video game.
What is that?
I would think Atari.
I was going to say Atari.
I was also going to say Atari.
So, you guys are close, but you have to get really specific. And if you don't know, you probably won't figure it out.
Cool. Then
Yeah.
Atari
I don't know.
specifically.
Okay.
Atari. Got him, Dan. Got him. I'm pretty sure it was the Pong game from Atari. I don't know the system or the exact name of it. I know it is Atari. I can give you very specific. So I guess in that case, we're all wrong.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
You'll find out next week. then.
Awesome. Okay, well, I guess we'll find out next week. Well, hey, coming up towards the end of the episode. Hey, Killian, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having
Yeah,
me. Thanks for letting me
absolutely,
intro.
Absolutely. It was great.
That was really good.
We're going to cut it and use it a lot in different places.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. And then, hey, don't forget to check us out on the social media.
Don't forget, check us out.
See, you
I
can't
know.
even say it.
On social media.
Don't forget to check us out on social media, Twitter, iTunes, Instagram. Do we use Instagram?
We will. We do.
Yeah, we sometimes use it.
We're really bad.
You're a photographer. You should be posting Instagram.
I know I
all
should,
the time.
but I'm lazy, you know?
That's fair enough.
All right.
You're the best lazy photographer. iTunes, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Check us out on
Reddit.
all this. What?
Yeah, we have a Reddit.
Do we have a Reddit?
Reddit.com/r/video game pharmacy.
I feel like I'm the
That,
only one who
I need
knows
to-
about
Are you
this.
subbed?
Check this
No,
out.
I'm not subbed to it. I just know it exists.
You
but
should go-
nobody-
you should go
None
sub.
of you seem to know it does.
I'm the one that
None of
made
us
it,
do.
but
Yeah.
I never post to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be a mod on our Reddit?
I'll
You
be
would-
a mod.
You would
Don't
be
give
a
him that
first
power.
mod.
Don't give him that power.
Oh yeah.
He keeps
Oh,
on
yeah.
begging for power
We'll
for
we'll
me
have
to
to
mod
talk
him.
about that. There are actually some rules on Reddit about moderation of something like our own subreddit.
Interesting. Okay.
I'd have to do some research.
Well, I'm gonna break those rules. Killian, you're a mod.
Thank you.
Well,
Scott,
yeah.
can I be mod in your chat?
Nope. You will not be mod of my Twitch
Hey,
channel.
and then don't forget to check out Scott on Twitch
Shut
at
up.
twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv/Charmander04.
I'm a loyal viewer. I love him.
Yeah. He's even subscribed.
Every time
subscribed.
he's hopped on.
Yeah.
Or on.
You're
I have
normal.
one.
Yeah, you're normally on there every single time. Well, hey, and Zach's okay, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, well. Anyway, and of course, thank you to NWCC Radio, as always, for letting us use your studio. We love you guys. You guys are pretty cool. pretty cool. But anyway, with that being said, from Zach,
Yep.
Dan,
Yo.
Killian was here,
Bye.
and I am Scott, and Britton will see you next week. We will see you guys next week.
Later, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
The pharmacy is now closed.